Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. We're playing a Gargoyle Wanderer of Lugonu, and we're about to head down into Lair 5. Lair 4 is not quite clear. Kirke is still on the loose, but we're choosing to ignore her for the moment and hope for the best. We do have Corrupt available on that level if we end up cornered by her. Banish would not work very well. She has too much magic resistance for it, but there's no such thing as resistance to bone dragons, so I think we could handle her if we had to. The rest of the threats in Lair, I mean, there's still plenty of things that can be a problem, but we've shown that we at least can deal with the stuff that Lair throws at us. We have to be careful with quite a lot of it, in fact, but it's not outside of our reach. So that tells me that if we're careful in here, we should be able to clear Lair. Not exactly safely, but somewhat reliably. Another thing we should maybe consider is taking a break from Lair and just going up to do, say, Orc or a bit more of Dungeon. Lair 6 is typically harder than the dungeon floor you left behind to go to Lair. So if it starts to get a bit too hard, like there's not Death Yaks in Dungeon, right? Like, I mean, there are threats, and especially if you go down to like Dungeon 15, you'll run into them. But a lot of the stuff on Dungeon like 10 or whatever is not a big problem if you've dealt with Death Yaks. So that's a thing we could do, and maybe should. But so far, Lair 5 has been fine, so I'm not too concerned about it. 8-headed hydras have the same magic resistance? Yeah, so MR does not vary by head. That's nice to know. Not a huge surprise either, but I wasn't sure. But you know what? Let's just go. Just go back upstairs and head to Dungeon. I think that is better than trying to finish up Lair. Alright, good. Eat. Let's rest down here, actually. I'd rather do that than... You know what? There's no hydras attacking us yet. Like, he didn't... We lost the one over on the west side. So... let's just keep exploring. A lot of the stuff in here is not that threatening. And it gives good experience. Nice, very good natural kill hole here. I think we can handle Yaks comfortably enough. Yeah, this is fine. Potion of Curing is good. Oh, no thanks. Let's go up here. Oh, there's nothing else here. We've been to all of that area. Okay, here? Mutation. I really do not need more potions of mutation in my life. Potions of Curing I will accept, however. Huh. Aside from that one Hydra, this Lair floor has been relatively simple. Not just simple, but easy, in fact. I don't want to mess with all that water exactly. Yeah, let's not go through all that water. We'll just check out what's over here and try to leave the eels alone. I know we have electricity resistance, but it's still, like, painful. Shocking, you might even say. Alright, electric eel. We can fight if you'll come closer down here. Then we can fight. How's that? Yeah, if you guys want to fight, come on down, I guess. But I'm not going to chase you into the water. We still can't quite fly, but I believe next level we'll get that. Yeah, 3 blink frogs, huh? Where to? There's no really great corridors or kill holes to fight in. Actually, this might be one. But there could be a Hydra over there still. And I don't want to get there by like walking through all this unexplored area. Could uncover who knows how many new monsters. We could perhaps settle for like an almost corridor. Where's the corridor I was fighting in earlier? Like, this is fine, but it's super far away. We could just stand, like, say, here, where there's at most 2 monsters attacking us at once. I think that ought to be okay. And I maybe need to banish one of them as well. I'm not sure. There are 4 of them? I may have underestimated the danger of this scenario. All right, let's banish this guy. No, he resists. Banish him again. He resists again. I don't appreciate this very much. I mean, we can just keep banishing, I guess. There we go, we finally got him. We lost our corrupt. Oh, there. Another one resisted. Goodness gracious. There's still 3 of these blink frogs around. 2 of them, I believe, are somewhat damaged, and this one's not, I guess. Yeah, get out of here. I guess I overestimated my ability to fight in this little nook / cranny. I can't even keep track of how many blink frogs there are. They just blink around like crazy and come back from weird directions. I think this might be the last one, but I'm not sure. Maybe there's another. I mean, of course, there always could be another that we haven't even seen, but I think that was the last one we had already seen, and it looks like that was correct. I'm auto-exploring. Maybe not a good idea. Since we know that, if nothing else, there's a Hydra on the loose. Who we don't want to run into. But really, I have no better idea where he is than auto-explore does. So auto-explore is maybe okay. On the other hand, auto-explorer goes into, like, auto-explorer would go up here, which, like, that's fine, I guess, but it goes into some places where I'm like, you know, there's just nothing over there that we need to go to. If you've explored most of the corners of an area, there's not going to be anything in the last corner, you know? So auto-explorer will visit more tiles than I would, which does sort of expose us to more dangerous monsters. That is to say, additional dangerous monsters. Not necessarily monsters who are more dangerous. Okay, so we have Banish available against this polar bear if we need it. He is not resistant to magic like Defiax and Hydras are. And Berserk I don't appreciate very much, but it looks like it was fine. All right, I'd say we're done with layer 5. We can check out layer 6. See how it looks. Okay. This looks like a watery ending. So I'm actually just going to go back to dungeon. And we'll come back to layer 6 later. How did this hog get away from Kirka is what I want to know. Alright, so how much of a dungeon did we, like, abort? There was, on dungeon 6, there was that Cyclops, right? But I still don't especially want to chase him down. So we're just going to go deeper here, dungeon 10. We could do Orc, but I don't see any reason to do that before dungeon. Before, at any rate, a bit more of dungeon. Book of Transfigurations. We did it, guys! Finally, our starting transmutation skills are useful. They're really not. We've invested too much in... Whoa, what is all this? What, did something smite me? What happened? Yes, something smote me. It was a priest. Fine. Let's walk away. Which one is the priest, by the way? The one right next to me, actually? Maybe I'll just stand and fight. Actually, I'll do even better. Get out of here. Ha! Take that. Alright, this is actually not going so great. The Orc Wizard is hasted. And there's this Orc Priest now as well. And the Wyvern Skeleton, I imagine, is fast, right? Yes. Very easy to banish, though. Skeletons have quite low magic resistance, so if we wanted to, we could banish him. But, I mean, I don't think we need to. He's pretty simple. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm a little afraid of Wyverns because I've run into them early in the dungeon before, where they're, like, quite a threat. And you're sort of used to them maybe not being a threat because you run into them later. I don't know. But now we are a bit later, and running into them is not a big deal. So, are any of these monsters, like, damaged at all? No. What about a Lamp of Fire? Like, that's going to take care of them, perhaps. Even at 0 Evo, it should be okay. Create some flame clouds under them. Hopefully. I'll give it a try. Lamp of Fire. There. It worked. Sort of. The Orc Warrior is on fire, and that's sort of the important thing. The Priest is not so big a deal, I think. Yeah, this is fine. I don't know. Did we need the Lamp of Fire? Who knows? I feel good about using it. It'll recharge on its own, and being at, well, not half health, but being fairly damaged against an Orc Warrior and an Orc Priest was a bad enough situation that I don't mind using up a bit of a consumable there. It's not even really a consumable, right, because it recharges, but, you know, the opportunity cost is that next time I run into something nasty, I won't have that option available, right? And so the question is, like, do I feel like that was the right set of monsters to use against? And, like, I think it was fine. Maybe not best, but fine. Yeah, Dungeon 10 has been pretty tame compared to Lair, late Lair anyway. A new cloak, huh? Exciting. And a new ring? Honestly, I think See Invisible is better. Like, most of the time there are no invisible monsters, so it doesn't matter. But this A means I won't have to remember to swap, and B, if there's like something invisible that... Ooh, a helmet. Yeah. If there are monsters who are like sneaking up on me while they're invisible, I'll know about them in time. I don't know. Not a huge deal, but it's something. Whereas +1 protection when you already have 33 armor is just like not that good. I was hoping I could get to that corridor. I'll just back up and use this one instead. There we go. Hold down tab. Yaks are not a concern anymore. 15 scrolls of teleportation. All right. Well, we have 6. It's something we could maybe try to save up, but if we don't find an alternate means of teleportation, I'm not going to want to get myself below, say, like 5 scrolls of teleport, which means I won't use those unless I have 20 teleport. Let's read enchant armor on the helmet. Sure. And identify a scroll? Noise, all right. And read this other thing we have a bunch of. Capital F was inhalation. Oh, there was a potion on the floor that I wanted to identify. Whoops. Hey, an invisible thing. How nice that I know about it. I mean, it's not a real concern because I would have quickly realized this guy was here and I turned on my ring of see invisible. But it was convenient that I didn't have to. And if he were in the company of some more monsters, it might have actually been tactically relevant. I don't know. I think I'm just trying to justify, like, the reason I want to wear See Invisible is so that I don't have to swap it, and I'm maybe just trying to justify it when, like, really the optimal thing to do would be to wear, I'll wear this. 9 MP is pretty good. It means we have access to more attempts to banish a particularly dangerous foe, or to corrupt when we might otherwise be unable to do that. This Wraith is putting up quite a fight. I mean, there we go. We got a few lucky rolls in a row, it looks like. Okay. I was thinking we might have to banish him, but it looks like no. All right. Dodging is 10 times cheaper than armor. I feel like probably time to train a little dodging now. Even at our crummy level of dexterity, should be good. Centaur Warrior? Alright, well, let's fight him. I'm not too worried about the iguana. He probably can't even do any damage to me. Hey, we're the fighter. We got up to... Oh, I see. Our fighting passed our maces skill. I was thinking that perhaps our fighting had hit some interesting breakpoint, but no. It was just that it passed our mace. Oh, the Hell Giant disappeared. Also, there was a Cyclops. So I'm going to let him throw some rocks at me, actually, just to see, like, what kind of damage it does, and to empty him of rocks. But now there's the Centaur, who makes this kind of a dumb plan. I don't know. I think letting him throw rocks at me was a dumb plan anyway. Look at that. Our evasion went up. Whoa! Blah! The only stairs up are over there? Let's run up this way. Now I have a corridor that works against all the monsters we were fighting, rather than getting sandwiched between the Cyclops and the Yaks. And I feel like we ought to be able to do okay here. We can try fighting the Cyclops, and then if that goes badly, we can banish him. We're a lot stronger than we were last time we saw a Cyclops. Oh, and we gained Enter the Abyss. So that's something we could train some more invocations to make it more reliable. Because having an instant escape ability is real nice. Even if it does put you somewhere that's not, like, totally safe. You know, by the time you're capable of using Enter the Abyss, you usually are capable of handling the monsters in there. Although I guess that this game is sort of a counterexample to that. You know what? Get out of here. A counterexample because, I don't know, we have an Amulet of Faith, and we've gotten Enter the Abyss online somewhat more early than you would like to visit the Abyss, typically, right? Like, we're not ready to go looking for the Abyssal Rune, is what I'm getting at here. A Mace of Draining. +1. Draining is a pretty good brand for most of the game. And I don't mind... Yeah, we have enough experience now that training up to 14 is not such a big deal. And it'll get us a better brand. And better damage. So I think I'll take it. I don't know. It seems like it's honestly not that huge an improvement from our +2 mace that we started with. But then neither is that whip. So I think it's fine. We just haven't found any great, or I should say any good maces. Great maces is sort of confusing because it could refer to the actual item Great Mace, which I also would like to find, but haven't. But I just mean in particular, we have not found a lot of good maces, which may or may not be great maces. A gargoyle! Hi! What's up? How come they get to be immune to negative energy and I'm just resistant? Seems unfair. He has Stone Arrow. You know what? Just go away. It didn't work. He walked out of sight instead of being banished to the Abyss. Alright, well, we'll just attack him. Back up. Don't want to fight both of those monsters at once. And close back in again. That Stone Arrow hurts. Yeah, I feel more comfortable banishing him. Alright, Dungeon 11. Dungeon 12 is starting to get a bit dicey. It might be time to go back to Lair or Orc or something after this. Or perhaps before we finish this, depending on how nasty it looks down here. I was talking to someone, to a viewer last night, asking, I ran into someone who watches, and I was asking about feedback. Hey, what is it you like? What would you like to see more of, less of, whatever? And he said that it would be cool to see me play a harder combo, which presumably would mean more difficult early game decisions, and he wants to see more of that tactical stuff. And I was like, I'm on a streak, and I'd like to extend the streak, so I don't want to play anything super hard right now. But, thinking about the first few videos of this playlist and just how agonizingly slow they were because of all the tactical decisions, I feel like he might have gotten his wish anyway. Gargoyle Wanderer is not super hard, but we got what felt like a bad Wanderer start to me, and then a bunch of bad early dungeon, which led to a lot of tactical, difficult decisions to make early. Anyway, I don't like Nergal, and I want her to go away, please. Before you summon any nasty whatevers, please, as well. We got her. Alright. I feel a bit bad about using the Abyss as our garbage bin, but that's fine. Better than fighting Nergal, right? Oh, actually, she does still have... No, she doesn't have Death's Door anymore. We took that away. I forgot. But she still has plenty of nasty stuff, and I don't want to fight her. I guess banishment is one of the few ways you can kill, in quotes, Nergal when she's in Death's Door. It's feeling kind of empty here on on Dungeon 12. Also feels kind of labyrinthine. Not in the sense of a real labyrinth, but in terms of like Crawl's lab. What was... Oh, it was a smite. Jeez. I don't know. This place... Oh, a flail of protection. That's great. I'll take it. I don't know. It just feels a lot like a lab here with these sort of twisty corridors like this. Get the flail of protection, please. Also, drop a hand crossbow and your bolts. And immolation. And mutation. And lignification. There we go. The great inventory purge. Now give me that flail, please. Yeah, that's an improvement, I believe. Well, hang on. Accuracy of 0, damage of 10. Oh, whoops. What was I wielding before? Capital Z. Accuracy of 3, base damage of 8. Yeah, the flail is better. The brand is better on the mace. But this one has better damage. I don't want to mess with that Deep Elf. Was it Deep Elf Mage? I think it was. Some kind of Deep Elf anyway. They can do quite a lot of damage, and I don't want to have to banish him either. I remember I was watching a long time ago some video or other by Walrus McFish Sr., the guy I've mentioned before, whose videos got me into Crawl. Probably, honestly, it was his Mummy Abyssal Knight game, because it was a Lugonu game, is why I'm thinking of it now. Right, what are my odds to banish this guy? Pretty good. I just need to get him into line of sight. Anyway, and he had been, you know, banishing uniques and so on, and he said he like didn't want to use the Abyss, or like I don't remember exactly how it came up, but he basically ended up saying that like he didn't want to use the banishment too much because then when you're in Abyss you'll run into a bunch of scary monsters like uniques. And when I sort of echoed that statement now, I just realized like how ridiculous it seems to me now, of like, you know, the monsters that you banish when you're on Dungeon 12 are not the things you need to worry about when you're in the Abyss, right? So I don't know if I'm misremembering what he was worried about, or if I misunderstood his concern, or if like he was just worried about something that I think is silly. At the time, it made sense to me, like as a new player, like yeah, for sure, there's all these scary monsters. If you just put them all in the Abyss, then the Abyss just gets scarier. Makes sense to me. Now, as I said, I don't really agree with that opinion anymore. A white ugly thing? No cold resistance? Get out of here. Lugonu's pretty good. Not as good as Trog, but pretty good all the same. I don't know, I feel like all the gods are pretty amazing if you use them appropriately. Okay, that was Dungeon 12. We did, what, 10 through 12 this episode? I'm not sure if we're going to finish Lair or do Orc, but I think we've done enough of Dungeon. And we've done enough of Crawl for this episode. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.